Okay, so the room is just about done and completed. I've got this chair here done. I just have to do some hand stitching along the side. And then this is the old comforter, and I'm using that inside the duvet. And I'm going to be covering this fabric on the duvet. I'm making that now. I've got all my piping here made from some clothesline rope. And I've got the sofa covered, and I'll put a picture of before here. There you go, and this is the after. Look at all those inlaid panels. And then what I did here is I made my own piping out of clothesline rope, and then that will just go along here like so, and follow that. Got the wall done here with the 3D TV and the 3D CD player here behind it. Got the crown molding up and got all the molding back on and everything, and I absolutely love the sign that we got. And then at Cracker Barrel, John got me the birds, and then the boards I put up, I didn't like the color, so I whitewashed it with a little bit. It was 50% paint, 50% water. That turned out really nice. And then now here, if I just open my blackout curtains here, just like so. And then you can see here, if it will focus here, you can see here where I made the valance and the curtains. So I've got blackout curtains here that are connected to the softer curtains here that you can't see through or see in from. See, when I pull my hand back, you can't see my hand, so you can't really see anybody in unless they're up close. And then of course here is a beautiful day out finally, and the view out our bedroom window, which I just love. And then of course we got the mirrors made, and all I have to do is tap these and my lights come on. Hello. And then I've got my other picture here up on the wall. So right now I'm working on the duvet cover. Again, I've got the stripe material on the back, and this will be on the top. I'm working on the pillow shams, which will be the blue and white check, and the bed skirt itself will also be the blue and white check. And then I've got this made, and it is the blue and white check runner. I had a spot on my dresser and I wanted to cover that up. And then I got me a nice vase here from Goodwill for about $6 on sale. And then I put new lampshades on my lamps and polished all the little jewel tones and things. And then here is the new light. And then of course I can turn that up. Isn't that neat, the way that looks on the ceiling? Or I can turn it down a little bit, and this will kind of let you be able to see it a little bit better, I think, with all the jewel tones. And then that matches all the jewel tones on here. And then watch this. You can tap anywhere on this light and get a nice beautiful light. Isn't that beautiful coming across there? And I just attached it to these beveled mirrors. And then here I have a beautiful $425 vase that I picked up for $9.99 at Goodwill. And then down here, I've got almost this all cleaned up. I just have to do a little bit more dusting and stuff. And then I'm going to, well, there's a lot to go on out here, so just get a nice before look. And then here's the sewing table. I went out to look for a sewing table, and the Goodwill had one in brand new mint condition like I had before. And that's going to come off this piece here, which is now going to be out in the center. And then I'm going to have my sewing machine here. So it's going to be my arts and crafts room now. For what it was intended for anymore. And I wanted to be able to use this room. I put a lot of money and time and energy into building it. And then of course you can see back here it still has my bunker. So I have to be very skillful at what I'm doing here. So I'm going to put the desk up against the wall over here. I bought the wood for a hutch here to put all my fabrics and all my sewing notions in glass jars. And then of course we already had the lamps, but so this is all going in the middle, and then the glass table's going on the wall here with the hutch here. Now I might flip these two, I don't know, but it's going to be now my craft sewing room. And then the sewing machine, I could have just left it on there, but it slides around all the time. I kind of wanted the option to be able to fold the machine in and out. So I'm going to refurbish, I'm going to just put a quick finish on this of a cherry stain to match the fireplace and the other pieces. I'm going to stick with the cherry stain. This chair's going, it's not staying. And then in here, since I got my room done, isn't that pretty? I don't have all my lighting on in here right now, but when I get all the bedding done and everything, it will be really pretty. When the skirt's on and the shams and all the pillows are done, which is what I'm doing now, it'll look really, really good. I got rid of the bar stools that were here. Remember, I had 4 cherry bar stools here. I gave those away. And then, and they were nice, but I did give them away. And then here, I put on this wood flooring. And I really liked it there. And I know now that when people sit there, they won't be marring it all up with their dark blue jeans. And I took away the bar stools. So now nobody can sit there and get these dark jeans, get their blue all over the wall. So now what I'm going to do is I've got all this put on. And I've got it all filled with wood dough, with wood fill. And I even did the egg and dart across here. Put these on. And you can see up underneath there, I got that all trimmed out now as well. And I even shortened this about 1/2 inch to 1 inch. I shortened it a little bit. So if somebody does want to use it as a snack bar, it's at a better height. And now I'm going to take this, and I got it all sanded, and I just have to paint it. Then you come over here to this next mess. You can see my saw sitting over here. And now I've got all of this trimmed out. I had painted this and I'd painted down to here because I knew that I was going to fix up the column, and I did. So then we're going to take this. I thought about painting that center thing in there blue, or you know, this color here, but I changed my mind. I'm going to do this whole bottom section in a nice high gloss white. So that's that. And then I have some more molding for that. This stuff goes to the motorhome. That goes to my daughter. This is all eventually going back out to the garage. And this, I got to decide whether I'm keeping it or sending it to the Goodwill. I don't know yet. I don't know. That's my undecided place. And then I have lots of fabric laying around. So I'm so glad that I won't be sewing in this tall desk now. I'm actually going to have my sewing machine in my sewing room. I've always wanted a sewing room. I'm finally going to have one. I got all the dining room done. The kitchen's all done. I'm really excited to have all that built and already painted and done. So now we're here. The family room's all done. All I have to do now is the chairs that were in my office. I've got to decide what I'm putting on those. It was between putting on the blue and white check or putting on the French country scene toil, and I decided I like the toil, and it matched the paint on the wall in the other room. It kind of brought the 2 different blue paint colors together between the crafts room and my bedroom. So that's what we're going with, and then I can do some accent pillows or something like that in a smaller version of this print. This is the material for the back of the duvet cover. And again, this will be the material for the top of the duvet cover. And then this right here is going to be the pillow shams and the skirt. See, that'll be pretty. I just bought some pillows from Goodwill, and then I'm going to recover them with my fabrics, with my country scene fabrics and stuff. So I'll just use those for pillow inserts. And all that for $7. So price those pillows online. You'll see what I'm talking about. It's expensive. Alright, so that's where we're at today. I am moving right along. I still have this hallway. See my little paint spots there? I still have this hallway and the outside of those 3 doors to paint. Just save your chairs. Buy some fabric that you like. Coordinating fabric to your table. Make them look nice. My main goal today was to get this done. How do we want to do this? They did the seam right here. So what they did is they did a fold this way, and then they did a fold this way. Basically, that's what they did. All right, and then they just hand stitched this down. So I've got some options here. Definitely have some options. So I'm going to tuck this in. Either tuck this direction and do a flare out like this. Okay, where it flares out like that, and I can tack this down, I can hand sew and slip stitch, hidden stitch this in, or I can just cut this point off here, and then it'll look more like this, coming down with a stitch here. And I'm liking the way that looks, the same way they did it. So that's what I'm going to do. So right now what I'm going to do is I've got this tacked in here, and I've got this. I know how much I'm going to need, so I'm going to go ahead and just cut it off about right here. Yeah, that will do it right there. So I'm going to tuck that down like that. I'm going to tuck it inside. I'm not going to put, I might put a stitch in that right there. Let me put one little stitch in that right there. Let me get it where I want it, right there. That'll keep this from loosening up right here. There you go. One stitch will do it. Okay, it's nice to be able to catch the fold. And then I'm going to take this stitch here, and I want to kind of pull down on it a little bit here. So I'm going to keep pulling up my roll here until I get it just right. All right. And then I'm going to give this a tuck this direction. All right, we're back. I'm sorry, my battery died. So what we've got here now is we've got this piece here, and I got it stapled nice and tight. I've got how I want this piece here to kind of look. Gotta figure out how it's going to look. Okay, that looks fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here with my big needle here, and I got to trim off this little tail. And I'm going to hide the knot. And I'm going to come back through where I came in, just like that right there, okay? Hiding that knot. Now I'm not going to come all the way up here. I could if I wanted to, but I'm not going to. And I'm just going to do a hidden stitch. I'm just going to grab a little like that. And then I'm going to come across, right across from it. Yeah, my needle doesn't want to go in. Right, and I'm going to grab about not quite a 1/4 of an inch. And if you rub this in a little bit of wax, by the way, and use a heavier stirring, then this works out great. All right, I keep grabbing the material underneath of it, which is fine. This just keeps that from sliding, no big deal. We're just doing a nice hidden stitch here. It'll look like you sewed it on the machine. And we're going to do that all the way down. And we'll be right back.